Hi, welcome to my channel. This is LR Options. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. So we're going to go over some of the news and the that's going on and how it affects stocks. So, as per the governor, since we are paused now in this crisis, he asked, "What have we learned to make better?" And what are the things that we have learned with this crisis that we can do better, such as transportation and from a health perspective. He asked, does everyone have to commute to work? And in many cases, we have discovered that many jobs can be done remotely from work, from home, and in many cases, they can be done even better. So this is really a learning experience since we've never been in this situation before. This is a first, and everyone is learning how to do things in a different way, where we're going to have to, look at things different, have a new perspective on things, and we're learning along the way. Okay, so let's look at DAL. I'm going to start looking at some stocks. We're going to analyze stocks for beginners, and we're going to begin with DAL, which is Delta Airlines. And let's see what happened with Delta Airlines this week. Okay, so there was a large pennant shape or wedge shape, whichever you prefer. And it began March 26th, when the market began at 35.11, came down to 22.87. Well, actually, we're closing this. I'm just trying to close a wedge shape at the end, and at one end. So the market began that day on 35.11, and it continued to go down, and then it pretty much April 3rd just began to range, and it ranged all the way into April 21st. It just remained steady in a horizontal direction. Didn't really go much up, didn't really go much down. Let me show you with this bar where it pretty much stayed. It pretty much stayed around here. But the basic dominating shape is a wedge or a pennant, and it's pointed on our end over here at April 22nd, which is also, I just realized, earnings. Okay, so this might mean that tomorrow this stock may start really moving, because a lot of times in earnings, the stock will not move on the very day of the earning. It'll move the next day. Sometimes it starts to move a little bit before, but usually a lot of times I see it move the next day. So the stock ended today it closed at 22.45, and this little pattern here ending at a point. So this may signify that it's going to be breaking out of here. It's going to be going in one direction or the other. This is another good stock to keep an eye out. So tomorrow in the morning, it'll be good to see where this stock goes. And if it gaps up or it gaps down, or it goes immediately up or down, whichever way it opens, it would be good to trade it, to open a trade, because a lot of times the stock will continue with the volatility to either rally or drop. And one example I have here is Snap Incorporated, Snap Inc. And look what happened to it today. It was earnings yesterday. But look, it didn't move yesterday. The stock moved today on the 22nd. And look what it did. It went from 12, it ended on the 21st at 1260, and it moved all the way up. Look how far it went. It went up to 1701. So that just goes to show the stock may not move until after earnings. Okay, and if you would have kept an eye on that, that would have been a nice profit. But anyway, going back to our stock. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so that's a very interesting shape here. So this is something to keep an eye on because this stock may move. Okay. And again, it had that classic downtrend shape. Then when it's close to candles close, normally red candles close to the SMA will come down. So this came down. See this move down. Okay, normally that movement will go down. And see how close this was to the SMA, came down, and then it continued. Okay, so this is one stock that would be nice to keep an eye on. Okay, let's go to another stock. Okay, we've got Boeing, and it was dropping March the 5th. Again, look at every candle you see close to the SMA that's coming down. No matter which way you see it, every close candle is coming down. Again, close to the SMA, coming down. Okay, even this last one, even if it's a green one, eventually it has to come down because we're in a downtrend over here. And it comes down. Look at these green ones. Eventually, the stock, okay, it's at the SMA, but the stock does come down. So sometimes the color of the candle, a lot of times, doesn't mean anything. It's just the direction of the trend that you're following. Okay. And again, look at this. Another ranging, actually another wedge pattern. It's wide over here at this end, and look at that, it narrows over here. Let's see if we can fix this so we can show it better. There you go. Okay, wide on one end, it narrows because it trends in a narrowing, continues to narrow, and look at that. I'm looking to see, oh, because look at this, earnings is coming up on the 29th. So you've got earnings coming in. Okay, so this could be another indication, another signal that this stock is going to be, it's going to continue narrowing until it gets there to the 29th. And then either rally up or drop down. You know, there are also stocks that do nothing. They don't move much at earnings, you know, but usually and normally there will be movement. So this is another one that would be good to keep an eye out on. So, okay, we found two. That's very interesting. Two stocks to keep an eye out on. You could make money with those too. All right, let's go to another stock. Okay, we've got Wells Fargo and Company. And one thing I noticed about Wells Fargo, okay, this either, I see a pattern here. Let's change this here a little. It may be coming back up. That could be one thing that may be going on here. Okay, that seems to be the obvious. Let me see. Oh, look at this. Earnings was on April the 20th, 2 days ago. Okay, so there's really wasn't much movement of the stock, but that doesn't mean that you may not have movement, even though 2 days have passed. So this is another one that would be good to keep an eye out on. You never know what's going to happen at the end of the week. So this would be a good one right here. Okay, and that's WFC. Now let's look at T, and this is at&t. It's trending down, so this probably still has a little bit more to go down. So it's probably going to continue coming down a little bit more. Let's see what else. Okay, and it was trending down before. March the 5th, March the 6th. And we do have one. Okay, I see some patterns. We have a green candle here. Moves far from the SMA. And then a snatch back. Let's see if we find any more like that. Alright, I'm trying to get rid of this tool so I can move my screen. Okay, these kind of moved a little bit far. A snap back, but that's basically more like a reversal right there. Alright, so that's the end for this video. Please consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet. Let everyone know what we're doing here at LR Options. Also, please share, like the video, and see you next time. Bye-bye.